top 8.
They do, and it's the same for every team. It feels really weird that we're only in week 3 and already we're speaking about top 8 so strongly, and like it's such a big deal right now. But it is because absolutely, Angry Titans already with that 3-0 are practically guaranteed top 8 at this point. If they fell out of that, it would be a disaster.
Upset of the season. Hopefully, no upsets to be found here. Only classic and fluid Overwatch to be seen from Orgless and Hungry and Bazooka Puppiez as they're jumping onto Gardens to kick things off.
Puppies rolling out with that standard 3-3 or the goats, as many people like to say, calling it. Orgless and Hungry, they're rolling out something very, very similar, but they've got Kevster on the McCree.
Misses the first shot, won't land the second, so no kill to be found just yet. All condensed in this tight corridor, and Kevster going to be the first one to pick up a kill onto Mirror. He's stunned up, getting some healing, going to fan the hammer straight into KSP, and he's going to be waving him straight to the grave. Going to move through onto the point. Colsty holding that shield up. Everyone retreating to get behind him. They don't want to fall victim to this McCree. High Noon already going to spray it forward. Go straight into the shield. 30 HP. Has to take cover. Coalescences being traded across the point. Everyone's moving forward. Want to get a little bit greedy is Kevster again, but he's straight into the Earth Shatter. Flamestrike follow-up gets the kills. Casper, 100 charge, close to the Graviton. We're barely minutes into this game. We're already seeing ults flying off as Denia gets the first environmental kill with that Graviton Surge. Everyone's going to peel through it and peel off the skin of the Bazooka Puppiez as they take control of the first point.
Bazooka Puppiez there, thanks to how tanky they are, managed to reinforce that fight again despite losing Mirror super early on. Biggest problem for them, you know the enemy Zarya is going to get her ultimate online first, and in that case Casper was like, well, there's no way you have a Graviton Surge right now. How about me dropping one on you and letting my Reinhardt completely clean you up? And it was a well-fought fight, and I've got to say, Kevster, I imagine they picked that up to deal with Farah and Tracer. He's dealt amazingly well with the tank so far.
Well, he's isolated from the rest of the team. They're going to use a sound barrier to really invigorate them as they go in for it. KSP picking up the isolated kill. Now the rest of Orgless and Hungry are folding into this tight corridor. Already having to back out as the Bazooka Puppiez emerge with their man advantage. Latex seems to be in the brunt of most of this force. He's got himself out. Self-destruct in the middle of the point. Coalesce is tearing through them. Bazooka Puppiez picking up the kills, though. Getting themselves going. Latex still low. It's just Leo dead. And, of course, his Moira support there available for him. But now that he's been demeched, not much can be done for him. Epps going to have to back away. Bazooka Puppiez flip the point just shy of 50%.
I've been wanting to keep a close eye on Latex today because I had a really good feeling about Leo Dead's last week. He played very well. Latex at times I was like, not really with the team, not fully synergized there, and this was probably a really good example of it. He went into that tight corridor, swinging the hammer away with the bubble on. Once he comes out, he's on the other side of the team with no shatter. If he had shatter, great, but he has no shield to be able to provide to his team. They get melted down by the Puppies lineup, and well, you saw the outcome.
The Shatter v Shatter fight emerging. Colsty's the first. He cancels the High Noon. Perfect timing for Mr. Colsty as the rest of Bazooka Puppiez is just going to run over Orgless and Hungry, sending them straight back to the spawn room.
Colsty big and strong in the front line so far. I thought he might use his shatter in that last fight, but no, was patient with it, held on to it, used it at the right time to make sure their percentage capture can at least catch up to Orgless and Hungry.
200 IQ play or pure coincidence?
It's a good thinker. That's all I can say.
It's a good thinker. Well, Latex has got his. Hopefully he can pull off some similar IQ plays with that shatter. Mirror, of course, sitting on that Graviton Surge. Hopefully will stem the flow of Orgless and Hungry as they run onto this point. Colsty holding that line. No one seems to have crossed it just yet. But here's Mirror, he's moving in, he's got the Graviton Surge, pulls it against the terrain, everyone's hooked in, but where is the kills? They're both locked up. Leo Dead's with the self-destruct. Now it's time for Metas, but no one's found by it. Leo Dead's taking out Meta as well. That's huge, no more Diva on the field. Coalescence going to go straight through those shields. Sound barrier keeps everyone topped up. Shatter, sidestepped by Latex. Colsty still hit a few on the back line as Latex is going to charge back into the fight. Casper going incredibly low, and they're all fighting in the rally from KSP and Kevster. They have to break through armor as well. Look at this amount of shielding and health on Mirror as he moves forward with 100 charge. Denia picking up another environmental kill, and Casper ending up going off the map, unfortunately. His Mirror doesn't have to use that Graviton Surge because Bazooka Puppiez are in control with 5% to go, and they're running over Orgless and Hungry as they're looking to scramble together some kind of counter-attack.
I think it might be a bit too late there, though. Getting rid of that mech is a big one for them. And there comes the Ultra. Patience once again, but a huge shatter.
Counter shatter, followed up by a counter shatter. Only one of them hits, and they don't have any major impact. Orgless and Hungry, they got men on the point. They're starting to get kills at 46% to the 99 of Bazooka Puppiez. There's a huge potential here for them to be able to flip this around. Bazooka Puppiez have gone for a reset. Insomniac just needs to drop, and the point's going to be flipped back to Orgless and Hungry.
This is the story of tank-based composition with those Moira Coalescence resistances online at the very start of that fight. That stood out for the longest time. Then we had the sound barriers coming out, and then we had all the shields, all the bubbles. That fight was going on from about 40% of the capture for Bazooka Puppiez all the way up to 99%, and then for the recap for Orgless and Hungry. That was one of the longest fights I think I've seen.
Mira had health, armor, shield, overshield from Lucio, 4 types of health going in there, and it's being shredded down by the coalescences. I think that was another blocked Earth Shatter from Colstein. He's about to get his own. Self-destruct on the point, tries to get pinned up by Latex, and now he's going to be stunned by KSP. Has to retreat because there's a huge army of tanks running straight at him. But he gets back to the point, 80%. There's only 20 left to go, and Bazooka Puppiez are in full retreat yet again.
They need the Moira here if they can go toe-to-toe with this Orgless and Hungry roster. That's exactly why they backed out. But Bazooka Puppiez, they've got the sound barrier coming online. There comes the Brigitte ultimate. They're going to go for it now, Tridd.
Sound barrier. They got the Earth Shatter. He can't block everything because Latex is off to the side. The Graviton Surge is going to pull them together. Bazooka Puppiez coming in strong. That self-destruct, it's in the middle. It's deterring any aggressors as Bazooka Puppiez get everything but a team kill to flip the point at 99%. Overtime's going to tick down. That's their element, and they're going to get the first map if they can just get away with pesky Eps.
They do manage to get rid of them. Might get another contest coming through, though. The Doomfist comes out as well, but they shut him down just in time. Great end to the round. Unfortunately for Orgless and Hungry, there's not much you can do when you've got 3 support ultimates blasting through. You had the Coalescence, you had the rally coming out of Brigitte, and the sound barrier. That's like having to kill three teams in one. There is no way they'd be able to hold against that unless they had the full stack themselves, which sadly they didn't. So at least now Bazooka Puppiez can walk away with the first round, but now they've got to make it happen again and start this turnaround from that 0-2 start they've had to the season.
Just makes them so beefy and so unkillable that it's just incredibly hard for Orgless and Hungry to do anything with this composition. We're going to move on to University for round 2. Bazooka Puppiez have already got 1 round win in the pocket. Just need that second to take the map and start these series off with a high.
Orgless and Hungry rolling out with a really interesting composition here, going for the solo heal. Now, I spoke to you about this a lot outside, Tridd, but I feel solo heal here is going to be a big risk. They want this high ground. We saw teams run it last week. I believe it was Hurricane. It did not work in the slightest.
The 3-2-1 Orisa, as you like to call it, Dez, it's come out to play on University's Leo Dead. Without that additional healing, already losing his mech and losing his life to the condensed composition of Bazooka Puppiez.
No surprises there when you've only got 1 single target healer. And maybe you're looking at Eps there and saying, okay, he's got solo heal, so there's only 4 targets to heal. Bazooka Puppiez are running a roll over comp. That's what 3-3 is designed to do. It runs at you, it stuns you up, it makes sure you die incredibly quickly. They're going to have to change here because there is no way they're getting that high ground.
Back to something a little bit more stable. They're going to utilize Casper on the far. We saw how well Track did it in the previous series. Can Casper match up? And he's already racking up that ult charge, so I seem to think he can.
Speaking of ult charge, this means they sacrificed everything that was gained during that first fight. They ran 3 tanks with all that healing going into this competition from Puppies and gave them tons of ult charge. Now they've got to fight against that, which means this second fight, once the ults come online for Puppies, is likely going to be lost.
They kept hold of Derry as Valkyrie, and that's already up and in effect. Earthshatter's going to hit the ground. Casper getting a lot of attention from Meta, who's flying at them. That Graviton Surge pulled everyone together, but no one got on the kill feed as Colsty's going to move forward, take out Eps, and Latex is going to revenge him. Casper still in the sky, going low, needs some healing. There's the Mercy, there's Derry at the helm out. Tries to go for the environmental, but that's a mech. It's not going to move so easily. Still up in the sky. Mira takes out Kev to tie. Here's the barrage raining from above, and there's nothing they can do about it until that protective barrier drops, and Mira's going to get the kill. KSP out there by himself, now getting reinforcements from the rest of Bazooka Puppies. They've had 60% on the board, uncontested by Orgless as of yet. They're poising themselves, ready for that counter-attack and that flip.
They got the trans, they still haven't managed to catch the point back yet, but Bazooka Puppies didn't manage to wipe them. There goes the grab.
Well, with no Reinhardt shield, the Graviton Surge is only going to find one person. It's a kill box. Denny is the one who's trapped inside with the lids shut as Meta going to take out Casper, and that's a huge reset for Orgless and Hungry. Time is everything for them with 20% left.
They managed to make that work off the back of an Orgless and Hungry ultimate with 2 of their own. Both support ultimates coming out of Puppies there to make it work for them. That's what I expected in the second fight, but to be fair, they did manage to stall Orgless and Hungry out. They've got these ultimates online, but we're almost at 99% already, Tridd.
Kev's just going for a ride with that Riptide. Going to go up through the middle, try and catch him off guard. It's there in the middle of them. Tri-Spear, the only victim, couldn't shift fast enough to get himself out of that one. It's the advantage Orgless need to get the flip. They got 4 bodies on the point. Make that 5. The flip at 99% is good for Orgless and Hungry.
Smart call from Bazooka Puppiez there, just to back off and not try and contest that point any further. There is no reason to give more ults over to Orgless and Hungry. Orgless and Hungry, though, they've got the trans. They can hold this point out for a while, and already you're starting to think about what Mirror's going to do with that ground surge. Does he pop it now and force the trans, or do they try and force the trans out first? Because now Casper has got his ultimate as well. They've got the combos.
You can always send Colsey into the front line to start swinging, but he'd want something with like Tri-Spear's Coalescence to back that up and provide damage and healing to make that kind of mood. Already the Valkyrie's in effect for the rest of Orgless and Hungry. He sends it to the floor at the back. There's the Coalescence. The Transcendence comes out a fraction too late to save Casper, but they can get a res out if Denny is smart enough. There it is. KSP's already taken out Kev still while the Mercy's distracted, and that's a Reinhardt falling down. Latex is off the board. That laser is so high charge. Casper cannot survive, and there's a good meta dive into him just to make sure. Denny is going to float to the ground. 4 members on the point. It's a flip, 99%. They need a touch from Orgless and Hungry to keep them alive in this map. No one, oh, just the last second touch, but there's nothing else in the tank for Orgless and Hungry. Bazooka Puppiez going to take the first map in this series as we go on to the next.
Season 2 is very quickly turning into you cannot trust the result of map 1. The same in week 1, happened in week 2. It's already happened today in the last series. We're seeing teams losing out the first map and turning things around, but very promising start for Bazooka Puppiez. They're looking a lot more consistent than what we've seen in previous weeks, and we don't want to pin it all down to the main tank, but Colsey, especially on Gardens, had a huge impact.
Also, just the cohesion between these teams to take out the Faras in the sky. Casper got a lot of attention placed onto him, and that was with a high charge Zarya, and you had Meta diving in there as well. So even though you don't expect those to have that great synergy at diving targets, they still made it work. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to bring you map number 2 of Bazooka Puppiez versus Orgless and Hungry. Welcome back to Overwatch Contenders Europe. We're about to jump into the second map of our series, Orgless and Hungry versus Bazooka Puppiez, who have the lead after their Oasis shutout.
So like we said just before we went to the break, it's so, I'd say you can't, it's super hard to write off a series from the first map and say, well, we see which way this is going already, because so many teams change when it leaves that King of the Hill map and goes more towards Escort or Assault, all the other different types of map that we see. So maybe there's still hope here for Orgless and Hungry. Bazooka Puppiez, though, a good, solid start so far.
You weren't keeping your eye on Latex, though, were you, Des?
I wasn't, no. I did say I would, and I've got to say I was watching all the pretty explosions that were going off instead, because Overwatch is a beautiful game. What can you say?
It is very visceral, and we're going to go and have a bit of nostalgia for me and Des. We're going on to King's Row. familiar UK streets, familiar UK LAN map. Fortunately, none of those UK players are in these two teams, but it's still a nice throwback.
It's all right. It was in the last series, though. Our boy Dids was there. It's all good.
He's home. He's an animal. Can't be caged on King's Row.
Can't
Only strives. It's the wildlands for him.
It is. Now, I think for both teams, they'll likely opt towards double sniper here on this first point. We've seen teams execute it incredibly well. We remember seeing Danye, I believe it was last week, just completely pop off for Copenhagen Flames and get 4 or 5 kills on the first point on Widow. That's the kind of stuff we live for. We saw Only God do it in the last series. It's a really, really popular start for a lot of teams.
Moving on to the rest of the rosters, Bazooka Puppiez obviously going to be on the offense first, and I think your assessment of double sniper is going to be an accurate one here, Des. Could see some variation, but I'm more interested in the pathing. That's been a conversation that's been brought up by Los Angeles Gladiators, their recent play, climbing up on Reddit and all the social media feeds. Just their ability to leave Shore at the backline with that Widowmaker and create a 5-man distraction that goes for a bit of a merry-go-round. Very reminiscent of the stuff that Giganti pulls off. So let's see if any of these teams want to apply it on King's Row.
The hardest thing about Overwatch is you can spend weeks theorizing and strategizing and getting it perfect. You play it once and teams can copy you, essentially. They can look at it and go, right, what worked well for them? What can we change and adapt to improve that? And yeah, it's good for the meta as a whole to see things coming in. We're seeing a lot of 3-2-1 Orisa comps coming through for a lot of teams as a counter to double sniper. But don't expect too much craziness. We saw Young and Beautiful go for a bit of a merry-go-round last time, but it was very obvious what they were doing and no one really kind of got surprised by it.
It's just Colsty holding the line. The others are using the terrain accurately, making sure they're not being popped off by Kevster, who's up on that high ground at the back. Already taking his first shot. Latex being pushed back, going to have a counter shove straight into Mete and demechs him immediately with the help of Eps.
Nice catch there. That's going to shut them down immediately. So Mets are probably going to be forced to go back now to spawn, change off the D.Va, change back onto the D.Va. Otherwise, they'll be here for a long time without that mech.
Well, he had 15% charge. It wasn't too bad. He might stay on the Zarya. So they want to give a little bit more extra reinforcement to Colsty, making sure he's got the protective barriers just to move forward a little bit more aggressively.
You already nearly got popped down from like no health there, almost getting picked up by one of the snipers. But the flanking Hanzo seems to be the theme of the day, Tridd. It's going to be Mirror getting around the back and at least bringing down one.
Not only that, we saw some Widow duels already. Kevster making himself the top dog already.
Yeah, that's just 3 easy picks from there, and this is the real trouble of playing into double sniper, is that you have 3 angles to worry about. You've got to worry about the core of the team, you've got to worry about the Hanzo, and then you've got to worry about the Widowmaker. And that Widowmaker, when players pop off, we've seen what they can do.
And it's a solid hold so far for Orgless and Hungry. They've already wrapped themselves up an Earth Shatter for Latex to drop onto the Bazooka Puppies. Should they be a little bit cheeky and push forward and try to bite off more than they can chew?
Yeah, building that up like twice as quick as what we saw coming out of Colsty, so they've still got to spend some time getting that online. A minute and a half already down, and Colsty's incredibly low already. Can't rely on that shield too much, my friend.
He has the Valkyrie to back him up. Latex going to throw down the Shatter. I don't think he caught anyone with that one, but Casper going to find KSP as he goes for the reposition with the grapple hook. Doesn't matter how low that cooldown is, you can still get taken out of the sky with it.
That was ridiculously aggressive positioning out of Colsty there, pushing forward a bit too hard, completely out of cover, completely exposed. And all it took was for Orgless and Hungry to go well. Just focus your fire at that big tanky guy walking towards us right now, and he felt like anything. It was insane.
Bazooka Puppiez going to be the team to get that Grab Dragon combination first. I believe that Casper going to have to rack it up a little bit faster to catch up, but if he's being taken out by Mirror like that, it's going to take him even longer. There's the Dragon Strike straight to the point. It's going to isolate the tank. Colsty needs to move forward, but the Valkyrie and Transcendence is there for Orgless and Hungry to shut things down. Here's the Graviton Surge pulling them together. KSP going to take out Leo Dead, and Kevster at the back line looking to shut it down, but there's another Dragon Strike from Casper as he finds free. As Bazooka Puppiez are in disarray, and Kevster just putting icing on the cake right now with these little pop shots. There's a Hanzo duel, a little bit of a takeout. They exchanged themselves because of the travel distance of these bullets. That's just a lonely, lonely Insomniac running around. He manages to escape though, that's even more surprising. And of course the health regen will kick in.
If that trade hadn't come through, they probably would have won that push as well, but Puppies now find themselves with 1 minute to play with, and they've only got that Earth Shatter to play with. Orgless and Hungry, they're looking fantastic on this defense. This is what I wanted to see. Now I've started watching Latex, they're performing incredibly well, or maybe Colt's getting a bit too aggressive at times.
He can feel the pressure of your watching eye. Kevster taking out KSP,
nice shield.
Blocked by Latex. The guy's having an absolute slobber knocker of a match. Insomniac going to bring up KSP. Casper taking out Mirror. Kev's got an angle. Casper's going to be taken out by KSP. Immediately forced out the resurrection from Denia. Kevster again. Both supports down for Bazooka Puppiez with 30 seconds on the clock. That's a fast reset for the Puppies if they want a chance at a cohesive push.
With that Infrasight online as well, this makes it so easy for Kevster to catch these retreating members or the supports who are lurking behind the safety of cover. This is their final attempt now, Tridd. They've got a couple of ultimates to play with. Bazooka Puppiez with none.
Well, here they go. 12 seconds left. You can already see the shots from Widowmaker being exchanged. They're going to wrap through Hotel this time around, but the movement is known. Dragon Strike cuts off a couple of the Puppies. Casper getting a kill. Latex following up with a double onto both supports, and Kevster taking out Meta. He got the Graviton Surge out, but there's no one alive on his team to follow up. Overtime's going to tick down, and Bazooka Puppiez pretty much get full held on first point. Kings Row.
So like I said, you cannot rely on the results of the first map to determine how the series goes, because that is what I expected to see more of in the first round. Fantastic Holt coming out of them, a bit aggressive at times from Colsty. I can appreciate what he was trying to do. He was trying to force the angle so that his own snipers would have enough opportunity to bring down the supports and be able to push in, or even just ding the tanks. But at the end of the day, Orgless and Hungry just far quicker off the mark. You even saw when they managed to push around and start catching 1 or 2 members out, Orgless and Hungry, Latex especially, had dropped down 2 or 3.
Is the first map cursed today, Des? Because this happened already, and we're noticing a trend coming in. Will Orgless and Hungry prove it? And then what happens in Game 3? Are we going to see the exact same thing happen? That would be unbelievable and incredible, literally, to see that happen.
It's a tough one because, as we heard Lulsish say after their game in the last series, first game, bit crazy, the comms weren't really fully there, and that's coming from a team that's done a lot of work on comms and making sure the right information is being passed. It might be the same with these guys. Just takes a bit of time to kind of settle into things. That's the warm-up round almost for a lot of the guys. Then you go into the big maps like these ones. That's when things can really start to have an impact.
Bazooka Puppiez looking to make an incredibly beefy team. They're running Brigitte and Lucio again, so armor and shields galore. I'm looking at you, Mira, 4 types of health. That's unfair.
Absolutely outrageous, you might say. Bazooka Puppiez, though, the 3-3 standard, once again. Nothing too surprising there. It's a comp you will see an awful lot, and we saw in the first series of the day, in fact in the first round of this day on Gardens, just how important Tri-Spear on that Moira is to the whole composition. If he dies, they lose healing, they have to back off. He's going to be a big win condition from them here. If they can keep him safe and alive, they're in a good spot, but this is where a Mercy may have come in handy over something like the Lucio.
They need to keep him away from the hungry snipers. Kevster and Casper, they just need one dink on the headshot. They're going to get away with it. They could be running a triple DPS composition here. They're going to switch Leo Dead out to the Zarya. Last minute, they have that reinforcement for Latex. They're getting better at debating us.
They are a lot better, because these days, like, triple DPS isn't a troll anymore. It's actually quite a serious composition.
And already, Bazooka Puppiez, they're taking the fight straight to Orgless and Hungry. They ran out the gates. They need to get a kill. They need to be rewarded for this, otherwise it's going to go horribly wrong. Mira being the one to find it. Latex missing out. Here's the return kills. Kevster using the high ground, getting himself a kill. Reposition from Casper, but no arrow can find its mark. They're in full retreat mode as the DMEC comes in. Kevster picking up another kill. That aggression from the Puppies has been punished. Nothing left to stop them now. And oh, KSP wants to be the savior. He's just buying time. There is no way the Bazooka Puppies can get control of this point again, especially when the kill feed is all blue. And Orgless and Hungry are going to tie out the series.
Well, that was incredibly quick. I almost had no time to speak about what was actually going on there, because the whole aggressive push, the Lucio made sense once you saw that game plan come into effect. Unfortunately, they kind of ran out of steam once that speed boost ran out. The team were able to adapt and pull back. They got incredibly close to losing their tank, and in the end, as you saw, did lose them and lost the whole point. That one kill wasn't enough. They needed to catch 2 or 3 members out incredibly quickly there to shut it down, reset back on point, and if they want to try and go for it again, they could. Unfortunately, plans backfire sometimes, Tridd, and this is one of them that just didn't pay off.
I think the Puppies were trying to do the most unexpected thing. Let's just run at them, even though we only have 30 or 40% to defend. If anything goes wrong, then, well, you know, we tried. I think that's a very baseline level of what happened, but I think our analysts are going to have a better idea, so let's take it over to them.